Okay, there we go. So, we are back. Stream is streaming. Sorry about that. Okay, that hopefully is the last of the technical difficulties today. And boop. Just going to make that go away. Alrighty. So, everything should be set up now. Gonna just arrange everything. Peter will join in 10 minutes. And let's get started. So, as to what I've been up to all day, if y'all don't know, I weld, I fabricate stuff, I like doing metal work. So today, I was welding stainless steel with stick, and if you do not know what it's like to weld stainless steel with stick, it's pretty difficult. I am pretty sure it is like one of the most difficult things I could do. And just welding wise. And took a lot of energy out of me. I was tired. I got burnt by the slag after cracking it off. And in general, it was just not a fun time. But here I am. And to be truthfully honest, I am actually excited about doing, or I always am, but like extra today. Because I actually prepared talking points. And you can get into those momentarily. Gotta pull them up. I put them in my notes. Okay, talking points. Talking points. Upcoming mocks. Okay, that's actually a good one. So I do have a couple mocks upcoming. They're mostly gonna be Brickworld Chicago related. So there's gonna be that. The other thing about them is that they're gonna be mostly space themed. It's gonna be based on this game, like video game. One of them I like to play called No Man's Sky. You might have seen the mock posted the other day on my Insta, if you guys are over there. It was there's this thing called a biological horror. That's just really scary, or kind of. It's more like freaky than scary. But yeah, so I built that. It's part of a like abandoned building mock I'm doing for the game. I'm also doing one of the spaceships, and everything's gonna be minifigure scale. I'm aware that the other one I posted on the Insta was not, but it's going to be one of the builds, but it's not going to be the builds I'm talking about. That was more of a practice build, because I'm working on the minifigure scale one right now, or in my spare time at the moment. And that should be posted soon, but I would probably be posting that right when, okay, I need to get all these big plates out of the way. We have limited table space here, because I am basically streaming in an area the size of a hallway. So, we're just going to move all of the big plates, and by big plates, I mean anything that is 3x3 or bigger. Oh no. No! Hold on. This is just gonna take a second. Can't lose these. Could be important. And I also can't lose that. I suspect that's important. But yeah, I'm going to be doing that. The other thing I'm going to be doing is I actually have a minifig scale Interstellar Ranger that I am building. I was honestly surprised. I didn't think it would be that big. Then I actually, like, did the math for the scaling. And that's what I always do, by the way, when I do a mock. Dear God, it was massive. It was way longer than you would expect. I think, like, if you scaled it up, it's about the length. It's like 4 studs short of 2 base plates long. But it's the height of a minifigure. It's basically like just a very, very, very flat ship, but a very, very deceptively long ship. And it's proven to be a little more of a challenge, but I committed to it. And I really want to finish it, to be honest, because it's turning out pretty good so far. And I just really want to see someone do it. So yeah, we got that, and then we also obviously got the remaining Pokemon. That's kind of we lost the plate. Been put on the back burner as I am right now in the process of developing a product. That is all I could say. Just I don't want to go into any more detail than that, but give you a hint, if you saw the metal stuff I posted before Brickworld Chicago, it's going to be related to that. Because, yeah, I'm kind of in the process of trying to merge my two hobbies together. Just because I really like both of them. But they both take lots and lots of time out of my day. And I don't want to give up either of them. So I found that this was a happy medium. I will build the occasional Lego set here and there, like I'm doing now. There are way too many big plates for the first bag. That's all I'm saying. Oh my gosh. Okay, so these are all the big plates we have. I'm gonna just move the smaller pieces, scoot them closer to me. These can go just out of reach. Okay. And here's the pieces that we need for the next set. And I don't want them too close to my laptop because this thing runs hot. Okay. We have a huge pile of big plates just right off camera. Just because if they were on camera, they would fall. Okay, we also got horsies. Don't know when those will come in. Probably pretty soon. And also here, let me just scoot these pieces closer. There we go. Okay. Just gonna move. There we go. We're all good now. And we're off. So yeah, as I was talking about before, just the reason I started it, doing like the metalwork Lego stuff, and by the way, I don't think I'm ready yet to reveal how I did it. You might have found out when I went to Brickworld Chicago, but I'm just trying to keep it a little hush-hush for now until I get, just because, you know, I plan on releasing the product. It's not released yet. The secrets will be revealed once I don't know, probably once I want to stop doing it. Or just pass the knowledge down from one person to another. But yeah, so I got some newer stuff coming up, some more original stuff. And that's gonna be pretty exciting because I'm almost done with designing it. And it should be possibly ready for a reveal. Like, and by reveal, I mean once all of the necessary parts are, once we get enough for a starting manufacture, it should be about a month. But yeah, it's honestly like really fun designing and developing this stuff, and that is something I do want to continue to do, like in the Lego community, because again, I'm gonna be at college for a long time. If you don't know, I'm majoring in materials science and engineering, aka the engineers engineering. And yeah, I'm just gonna be so busy studying that I'm not really gonna have time to focus on content or Lego stuff. But doing like all of the manufacturing for that is about as much time as I'll have in college. Because I mean, it takes a reasonable amount of time, but doing like large scale Lego projects takes longer. I'm gonna be doing that and then probably like working on a couple of mocks in the background. But yeah, again, that's if I'm like really lucky. But no, I'm gonna honestly just be really busy with school and not really get a chance to. So this will also kind of be like content wise where I take a pause. Just because I mean, I don't really post much or have much of a following. Not saying that, you know, fans aren't important. I think y'all are important. Oh, we got a chat rate? Okay, Peter's gonna be on momentarily. Pulling chat up again in the docs. Okay. So, yeah. What we are planning on, or what I'm planning on doing, at least content-wise, I'm gonna be slowing down for college, and then after college is done, I don't know. I'm not really doing content for, I'm not trying to be like a YouTuber where I'm doing it for like the audience's sake. I'm mainly doing it to document like my process and how I do stuff, how I make stuff, stuff I've made. So that's kind of where it's shifting. So I'm like, just letting you guys know now, don't like expect any entertainment. I mean, there will be entertaining stuff. I will make it entertaining, obviously, but it's like, it's more recording of my progress, not like I'm doing a video for just making it for entertainment purposes. I don't know. I honestly like.
You hear me?
Yes, we can hear Peter. Let's hope there isn't an echo. Okay. Hey Peter, what's up? We were just talking about the future of this channel. I can hear you, by the way. Can you hear me? Oh, oh, I know the issue. Wait. Peter, you've disappeared. Peter disappeared. This is a big oof. Oh, Peter couldn't. Can you hear me now?
Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello?
I still can't hear you.
What?
Okay.
Why is streamer mode enabled?
Um,
Hello?
hmm. Let me make sure I have your
I.
volume is up. My
Okay.
volume is up.
Is it like the speaker?
I don't know what the problem is.
What?
I can see your circle turning green.
It's gotta be turned down manually.
Hello? Hello? Hello, hello. I still can't hear you. Okay. Hello.
Whoa.
Let me make sure I have your volume is up. My volume is up.
Um,
Wait, I don't know what the problem is. I
this
think
is.
my audio is looping back into your stream again now.
Yes, it is.
Oh boy.
This is gonna be fun.
Sorry about that, chat.
It's okay. Can you hear me now, Peter? I'm gonna take that as a no. Where's my input? Okay. Hello, Peter. Peter's Pieces is silent Peter right now. Let's give him a call. I'm gonna just. We're gonna call Peter. Hello.
Hello. Hello. By the way, your stream delay is like nothing apparently.
I know.
I know.
I'm using OBS.
OBS. That's actually insane. Hold on, let me leave the Discord call so
All right. It's really not that bad.
No, it's like I swear I'm seeing your mouth almost in real time.
Oh my gosh. Okay, there we go. So yeah, I do have some questions for you. I prepared some interview questions.
Okay.
Okay,
I
so
should probably introduce myself. I'm Peter's Pieces.
yes, this is Peter's Pieces. He's going to be on mobile for now.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all can hear him.
Hold on. I'm gonna unmute my own audio and then mute my microphone in the call. So
Okay.
I'm gonna make a loud noise then unmute real quick.
Okay. Oh, I see what you're doing now.
It's audible, but it's quiet.
It's audible but quiet.
Yeah. We can hear you fine, but not.
Okay.
I'm a little quiet. Well, I'm quite quiet.
I was gonna say, you can wait if you can mute yourself on the phone, then join on Discord. That might work.
Oh, true. Yeah. Okay. That's good. That's a good idea.
Okay,
I'll do that.
we've temporarily solved this. We've temporarily solved the problem.
By the way, careful not to show your phone screen on screen.
Oh, don't worry. I'm like trying very much to like not show it.
Okay. Cool. Um. All right. I'm joining Discord again.
Okay. Yeah, Bag One has so
One
many.
has so many.
Oh, Echo.
Hello?
There we go. Hello.
Oh, because I can hear myself. Yeah, of course.
Okay. Perfect. So, I have some interview questions for you.
Oh boy.
If you guys didn't know, this is Peter's Pieces. He's a famous Lego YouTuber who runs the channel Peter's Pieces.
I don't know if I'd call myself a famous Lego YouTuber, but
I'd call
sure.
you pretty famous.
We'll roll with it.
Yeah, we'll roll with it. I mean, you do have a lot of followers, so I'd consider you pretty famous.
I don't know. I don't think I even do though. I have
Hold on. I have like 2,000 subscribers, but I guess that is a lot. I should be grateful.
Exactly. Yeah, I have 114, man. Compared to me, you're famous.
Yeah,
Okay.
you could get there. You could get there.
Yeah. But anyway, so what are your plans for Brickworld next year? At Brickworld this year, we saw you display a ton of amazing mocks, and honestly, I'm wondering, and a lot of other people are probably wondering, what do you have anything planned yet?
So, so this year, for those of you who don't know, I brought a like 8,000 piece Lego skyscraper, and as well as some of my old mocks. And then there was like a vintage house that was also new. A lot of my old mocks don't even have videos yet though, so people online might not recognize them, but hopefully that'll change eventually. Sorry, do you know what like a speech jammer is?
Speech, I do not.
It's like it's a device that like plays your voice back to you with a very slight delay, and it makes it really hard to talk. And that's basically what I'm experiencing right now because I'm hearing my own voice on the phone.
Okay, what about now? Does
Um,
that help?
okay, I will try again.
Does that
Yeah, I
help?
can still hear myself. I'm trying to think if there's a way.
If I was using, wish I could use Discord to stream. I want their noise suppression. There's gotta be a way where, like, wait,
Unmute on Discord.
okay. That might work.
Wait, no, unmute in Discord.
Eh, Discord, stop it. There we go.
Oh, I can hear you.
Yes!
We figured it out. Hold on one sec.
Okay. Yeah, you're just, I figured out the issue so you don't loop. I just turned off desktop audio since we can hear you through the input capture just fine.
Okay. And yeah, and I think what was wrong on my end, it was on my end. The audio output source was not correct. I think it was trying to send the audio into my microphone, which is not where the audio is supposed to go.
That would be funny though if it just acted as a speaker all of a sudden.
Um, anyways, sorry. I'll just start from the beginning because we got a little sidetracked.
Yes, we did.
So, this year at Brickworld, I brought like a big Chicago architecture-inspired skyscraper that had like 8,000 pieces. It's my biggest mock ever by about a factor of 2, and that's like the only thing I built this year because it was a big project. And I guess also last summer I did build like a kind of a vintage Lego slash like 2000s creators house inspired mock. It was like I call it just the vintage house. I'm not very creative at naming, but I brought that in the skyscraper, and then some mocks that have been shown before, which I haven't made videos about yet because I'm very slow. And like I said, hopefully that will be changing because I'm ambitiously planning to work on a city update next week. But like, knowing me, it's not gonna get done.
You can do it, Peter. You can do it.
Yeah, well, the room tour is not even done yet, so I have to finish the room tour first. Um,
Fair.
but yeah, I'm planning on working on that tomorrow during Brickspiration Aaron live stream, some, because apparently he posted on his story that that he was pressuring me on his Instagram story to get it finally done. So I feel like I'm under a little bit of pressure now since he has like 10 times as many subscribers as me.
Exactly. Feel the pressure.
Um,
The pressure
So-
will help.
this year I did bring quite a bit to Brickworld, but next year, personally I might not be bringing that much because, okay, this is famous last words because I do kind of just start projects that end up happening without me planning them first. Like the skyscraper, the skyscraper is probably the most I've ever planned to mock. But like the modern house that none of you will have seen yet unless you follow me on Instagram, that was just something I started one day and ended up taking it all the way to the finish line. But I don't have any like plans for mocks next year right now. My plan is I'm going to be the president of the University of Illinois Lego Club next year. So that's going to be a big time commitment, and we do have a branch of the club that designs mocks. So I will be contributing to that quite a bit because I enjoy that. And I will probably be focusing my energy on supporting them rather than building my own stuff independently because they could use my help. A lot of the people in the club are like brand new to Lego. So yeah, they definitely, any attention I can give there is going to be helpful. And I won't be living at my parents' house. I'll be in my apartment at school, so I won't have my Lego collection with me. But
He's gonna be a full-time studio creator.
that's basically what I was last year. The skyscraper is the only thing that I've ever fully designed in studio before ordering the parts. I did design part of. See, I have a pizzeria mock that you would have seen, but nobody online would have because I haven't posted it anywhere yet. But that was partially designed in studio before I built it in real life. But not totally. It was just I designed it in studio to know what kind of pieces I was generally wanting to use. But yeah, I've gotten a lot more comfortable with the studio in the past year, so I will be using it. And if I design anything for Brickworld next year, it probably will be using studio.
Nice.
It's funny to think because a year or two ago, I was thinking like, next year in 2025, I'm gonna bring a whole city layout to Brickworld. I thought I was gonna bring all of my mocks that I had built and put them into a city layout and remove all the sets from it and just bring the entire layout to Brickworld and fill up like a whole table or something. But I've decided that with all the stuff that I have going on at school this year, and I want to focus on videos some in my free time. That's probably not a great way to spend my time. I can do that when I'm like living on my own in my like late 20s or something.
Yeah. I mean, you're president of the Lego Club, but you can get the Lego Club to do it for you.
No, see, I want to serve the Lego Club. I don't want them to serve me.
It could be a bit of both. You can just convince them, hey, we should do a huge city layout.
We are doing a model. I mean, you would have seen this at Brickworld.
Oh yeah,
we
the
are doing a
microscale?
model of the University of Illinois main quad, and that actually is done. We're going to extend it to other parts of the campus next year, though. And that's been a really popular project. So I'm expecting that at Brickworld there will be mocks that I've contributed to. I might just not have my own like stuff that I've completely designed 100% myself. It's probably going to be stuff that I was a collaborator on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's my plan for next year. And then in the future, like I said, I would love to bring a city layout some year, being like completely 100% custom. I honestly think that giving it some more time would also make it, a better layout because I'll have more of my own stuff to bring and I can, have more money and time to polish it off. Whereas right now I'm mainly limited on time right now, but I'm assuming by next summer I'll be limited on money too because I'll have spent all my savings from my internship.
Oh my gosh.
Living at school. But yeah. So yeah, nothing ambitious for me next year. Hopefully there will be. Well, I'm not going to vlog next year at Brickworld, I don't think, but maybe the year after. I don't know. Hard to say what the future holds.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna vlog at all, mainly just because I want to chill at Brickworld. I don't want to.
Yeah, and I so understand that because when I filmed my Brickworld vlog last year, it just felt so busy. Like it felt so. Like I was juggling so much to try and film a cohesive video during Brickworld when I'm trying to hang out with my friends and spend time with everybody in the lug, and there's just too many people to spend time with, and that was the case again this year. But I made the right call in not filming a vlog on top of all of it. Even if it was would have been good to remember the trip by. You can't have everything.
Yeah, you honestly can't. I mean, yeah, that was kind of what I was discussing before you joined, where it's like that's why I combined my two passions, which is Lego and metalwork, because yeah, with the engineering program I'm going into, I'm going to have zero time.
Yeah, I heard that as I joined that you were talking about going into materials engineering, material science. That's tough, you know. That takes a lot of your time and energy. That's not going to be like a business major, you know.
Oh yeah, no, it's not going to be a business major at all. It's going to be a fun major when it's done, but a hellish major to complete.
Yeah. By the way, that's not to like crap on business majors. I do have some friends that are business majors and they work very hard. It's just a different kind of work because it's more outside of class and your homework is
Yes.
really easy.
It's all creative thinking. Or, no, this isn't creative thinking. This is basically training your brain to be a human supercomputer.
Wait, what is?
Being an engineer.
Yeah, sorta. I mean, it's like training yourself to make good guesses and to just like have skills that you need to like make stuff, right?
Yes. Yeah, speaking of making stuff, yeah, I also was welding earlier and accidentally took a nap when I was done, and I overslept and the stream started late.
Oh, jeez. I would never start a stream late. I don't know what that's like.
Yeah, no, he's Peter's always on time, like perfectly on time. Meanwhile, I overslept by like 15. I overslept by 30 minutes, so I got prepared on stream. I got prepared to stream on stream.
How long did that take?
It took 30 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, no, my guess, my educated guess was right. It was 30 minutes. But yeah, I should not have overslept. Yeah, I was welding because if y'all don't know, with bringing the metal and Lego together, I'm actually trying to start a business with that. Like just a little side business.
Yeah, have you not shown it on your YouTube channel?
I mean, I've shown it some, but I haven't really gone in depth with the process, mainly because like I really don't want to kind of reveal it publicly until either I don't.
Oh, yeah, you did talk to me about this because you
Yeah,
said that, if I recall correctly. Well, okay, for context, viewers, the stuff he's working on is pretty cool, and it is something that like you could sort of reverse engineer, even if it would take a lot of work. Um, and if I recall correctly, your reason for not posting it online yet was because you didn't want people to have the time to reverse engineer it,
pretty much, yeah.
because you're just basically like blowing your lead there.
Yeah, plus I really just my plan is to get it out um fairly quickly, but not like so quickly that it causes issues, you know what I mean? Like, because I want to turn it into a business, but obviously I don't want people to reverse engineer it before I do anything. Like that type
Yeah.
of stuff, yeah.
Um, Sorry, what was I going to say? I just totally lost my train of thought. Oh, and the other thing is, um, I don't remember if you said this to me or if this just occurred to me. Um, if you lead it too early and you start promising stuff way too long before you deliver it, you can kind of kill the hype train a little bit, you know?
Yeah, you get the No Man's Sky conundrum, that's what I call it.
Mm. Is that what happened in No Man's Sky?
Yeah, when it was released in 2016. No, this is still my favorite game. I'm just saying if the developer gave it a little more time. I mean,
Yeah, or it could be like, like worst case scenario could be like the Cyberpunk situation. You remember that?
oh god, that was horrible.
Cyberpunk 2077, when it released, was not a finished game. um, I don't even remember when that released. Was that like 2020 or something?
I think so, yeah, when the pandemic hit.
And people that played that game were very upset by CD Projekt Red, the developer, because they promised it to be like, the game of the future, and it did ultimately. Like currently, they did update it to the point where it's a good game now that's very playable, and it's in a pretty solid state from what I hear. But originally, it was causing a huge controversy, and obviously you're not going to have quite the reach of CD Projekt Red, but the people that you do reach, you don't want to lose their interest or like disappoint them by underbaking something.
Yeah. So I'm not promising anything.
Yeah, whatever you're able to make is what you're gonna release.
Exactly. Yeah, but I mean, in regards to the No Man's Sky situation, at least the developer has been pumping out updates since 2016 and has still not stopped pumping out updates. I don't know how they're doing that or making money, but like at least we're getting updates for the game. So, yeah, it's taking a while, but the developer has actually like so far put everything that he promised to put in for the most part. It just took a while.
Yeah. Have you heard of Star Citizen?
Stars, I think the name sounds familiar, but I don't think I've like seen the game.
It's a game that's been like under crowdfunded development, and it's been in development for. Actually, I'm gonna Google this. Um, um, Pre-production of the game began in 2010, with production starting in 2011, and the game is still not out.
Oh my gosh.
Um, so, so to give you some context there, the game started development when the iPhone 4S was the brand new phone.
And now we're on the iPhone 15 Pro.
Yeah. Um,
Dear God.
yeah. And it's an ambitious game, but the fan base has been really. I think the people who are still fans of the game are in it for the long haul at this point, but it's gotten a lot of media coverage over the years for how long it's taken to finish, and it's like I said, it's still not finished yet. Um, and I don't remember why that is. Do you know the game Geometry Dash?
Yes, I do know that game.
Do you know the story about that game's update?
I do not.
Have you played Geometry Dash?
Yes, I have. I was very horrible at it.
Yes, it is a difficult game. Um, so Geometry Dash is like, I was gonna say free to play. It's not free to play. It does have it's like $5 or something, but it's a
Oh
mobile
my
game.
gosh.
Back then when mobile games used to cost money, and not have ads. Um,
The good old
and
days.
yeah, it's developed by one dude, Rob Top. And wait, is No Man's Sky you said also developed by one person?
It was developed by like a small development group, No Man Game or No Man's Sky. The main guy is Sean Murray. He owns the company.
Oh, and he's the one still working on it, or is the whole team?
Oh, he and the whole team are still working on it, and they're releasing new games too. I honestly don't know how they're doing that. They're probably
Huh.
putting in ungodly hours, but I mean, props to them.
Yeah, nice. Um, so Geometry Dash is just developed by the one guy, and for like 7 or 8 years after its release, it continued to get frequent updates. Like every 3-4 months or so, there would be an update. Um, and I think like 6 months to a year was the longest it went without an update or something like that. And then, by the way, I don't have the figures in front of me. I'm just kind of ballpark guessing. Um, but I do know that it was like over 7 years uh, that it was getting frequent updates, and then in like 2017-ish, it stopped getting updates because the developer was working on the biggest update yet, Geometry Dash 2.2, and
I can imagine.
it was originally supposed to be a small update, but he kept adding things that were like, oh, I should put this in this update as well, and oh, I might as well tack this on as well. So and then none of them ever got finished before more features started getting added. So there was never a point where this update could have been released because it was never all finished at once. You know, there was always something that was not finished, and then before another feature started to get added. Um, so, um, what ended up happening is that the game went 7 years. This is like half of the game's lifespan at this point, where there was no update. It's because the developer RobTop just kept saying, "Oh no, I'm still working on it. I'm still working on it. I'm still working on it." And the community eventually gave up. They stopped believing that Geometry Dash 2.2 was ever coming out. You know, for the most part, you know, there were still people who believed, of course, but most of the community had given up on it. And then finally, last fall, RobTop dropped Geometry Dash 2.2. It sent shockwaves through the Geometry Dash community because you know, you go 7 years without an update, you assume you assume that it's never coming, you know, and when it does drop and it's everything that was promised and more, the community just went absolutely nuts, and the game started, you know, absolutely popping off on Steam and on you know, the App Store, and like videos on it were getting like a lot more views than usual. You know, it was a big moment in the maybe even the gaming community as a whole, honestly. So yeah, I mean, it did eventually release, but there is something to be learned there from start with what you know you can get done before you start adding things that you can't get done on top of it.
Yes. We can all learn from Geometry Dash.
And I've experienced that in some of my own work. Like, you know, my videos sometimes kind of get the feature creep sort of phenomenon where I start like adding more and more and more into the video idea, and you know, more and more and more into the edit until I'm no longer working on a video that was at all what I thought it was going to be. But you know, it's kind of miserable to work on a project like that. So definitely don't try to do more than you can. Definitely don't bite off more than you can chew, because you know, releasing a small number of products that you can learn from in the process of developing is more important than delivering the product that's going to, you know, pop off right from the gate, because, you know, you have time.
Well, I mean, you also might not, because there are other customs makers out there. That's
True.
the thing. Time is limited, relatively speaking. Ooh, wait, did I put that in the wrong spot? I think I did. Oopsies. Yeah.
What else did you have? Did you have other questions? I do have to go in like I don't know, like 10 minutes, but
Yeah, I did prepare a lot of questions.
we've only made it through like one.
Oh, I know. Favorite upcoming sets. This should be a shorter one. What are your favorite upcoming or released, like, new sets?
I just got the Speed Champions Ferrari F40, and I like that. I don't like it as much as the Creator Expert one, but I wiped some of the side printing off of the window, and then
Ooh, did the acetone method work?
No, I used an eraser. I told you about this. I had already gotten
okay.
it all off by the time I messaged you about it. Yeah, but I modified the headlights as well, because I didn't really like how they looked. But now that I've modified those two things, I think it looks a lot better. And what other sets are upcoming? I'm really curious to know what the next modular building is going to be. More so than usual, because I wasn't super in love with the Natural History Museum.
Oh,
And
I
I'm probably
love that
still
thing.
going to end up getting it, but what were you going to say?
Oh, I love the Natural History Museum. I think it's beautiful.
What do you think of the Boutique Hotel?
Boutique Hotel? Honestly, they really smashed it out of the park with that one compared to the museum.
Okay. Yeah, because I have a friend who really loves the Natural History Museum. I'm not going to dox him, but I have a friend who really loves the Natural History Museum and hates the Boutique Hotel. and I think that's such a strange pair of opinions. I
I
don't
mean,
know.
I don't know. I feel like I could understand that because like the boutique hotel, it is literally like a chunk of a cityscape, but it is very like chaotic and cluttered within it. So for people who like more standalone buildings, like I could see why the museum would appeal.
Hmm. Yeah, I hadn't considered it from that perspective. Um, I could see that argument. I think that the perspective I'm coming from is that like I'm a custom builder, and the techniques in the boutique hotel, and I think the architecture of the building are so much more interesting that the Natural History Museum, in comparison, um, I don't know. I just want more modular buildings like the boutique hotel that have a lot of great techniques and some interesting architecture. And I think the museum this year, while it is a like, I like the color, which is not something that everybody would say, but I do like the color, and I like the idea. I just don't know if the architecture is as intricate as some of the other buildings, and I don't know if the techniques are all that interesting.
I mean, fair enough because like yeah, the museum is just a giant block. Meanwhile, the boutique hotel, you had them using actual trigonometry properties in order to
Yeah,
get
I
some of the
learned so much
techniques.
from that build.
Yes. No,
But
honestly
yeah,
though.
like, oh, go ahead.
Oh no, you go.
I was gonna say, my ultimate point was that I'm really looking forward to seeing what the next modular building is, um, because I've heard rumors that it's gonna be like a hospital, maybe.
Oh.
But the rumors are often wrong, especially about modulars.
Oh yeah.
Um, what were you gonna say?
Well, I was gonna say like, yeah, I could see your perspective like from a mock builders because it's just a boring square. Like
Yeah,
honestly, it's
but it's
very
not a bad display piece. I'll give you that.
yeah. It isn't a bad display piece, but like building wise, it's kind of I think would be like the Daily Bugle, where it looks nice when it's done, but building it is a pain.
Yeah. I still like the Daily Bugle just because it's like literally a skyscraper in a box, and I never expected to get that as a Lego set. Um, just to be able to walk into a Lego store and buy a skyscraper is pretty cool. Um,
Yeah, it's just like in the Lego movie when they got the Octan Tower.
dude, if they made that as a set, I would so get it.
They
I
need
also
to.
say if they made the Sears Tower or something, sorry, the Willis the Willis Tower. My
No, it's
apologies to
always gonna
anyone on
be the
Sears Tower.
Sears Tower. No, it's never gonna be the Willis.
Okay, well, we're both from Illinois, so we're gonna say the Sears Tower, um, and uh, if they made the Sears Tower, I would so get it, and I would get it even at, like even if it cost like $1,000, I would still get the Sears Tower. Um, I want that building in Lego so badly, but it's just not that interesting to design as a mock. I feel like,
True. Yeah, cause well, I don't know. It would be funny if we got it for minifigure scale.
dude, minifigure scale, that thing would be insane.
That
That's like a
thing.
hundred something floor. I think it's like 115 floors or something like that.
Okay, there's got to be a way that it can be done.
My skyscraper that I brought to Brickworld was 6 floors. It would be like 20 times the item. I don't think that's possible.
Yes, we just need to invent some. We need some metal Lego support for it.
Is
And
but is that legal though? Come on. If you can't build it out of 100% genuine Lego,
I
that's what
mean,
that's my take.
but what if it's derived from genuine Lego?
Like cast from it, like you're saying you're gonna cast like Technic bricks and metal.
Maybe, maybe that's what I do. Maybe I machine them.
Dude, that would be actually sick.
Yeah, no, 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 no.
Machined aluminum Lego bricks. That would go
Yes,
hard.
I'm not disclosing whether I cast or machine them. I
You,
let, let,
you don't even have a product announcement. There's nothing to advertise yet. You would just be leaking information to your competitors.
yeah, exactly. No, anyone who wants to compete with me, uh, we're redacting his statement.
Um, what was the next question? Sorry, we spent a lot longer on that one than I expected to.
It's all good. Uh, okay. So how do you come up with your mock ideas? Like, what's your process?
Well, I think I touched on this a little bit earlier in the stream too, but sometimes there's a lot of planning that goes into it, and sometimes there's not any planning that goes into it. Like the modern house, I'll elaborate on a little bit because that's a good example of one where I didn't plan it. I just saw like the architect's house that was on Lego Ideas and on the Berkeley Designer Program. Um, didn't get picked for either one, unfortunately. But I don't know who the builder's name is, but I tagged him on my Instagram post if you follow me at Peters_pieces.
Yeah, go follow him, everyone.
Thanks. But the modern house, I just saw that and I'm like, I really like that, and I picked out like what do I actually really like about this, um, and I identified the elements, and I identified the elements that I like about like other modern houses, and also some things I wanted to practice. Like I wanted a little more practice with rock work, so um, I kind of like sketched out an idea in like 5 minutes on Apple Notes. Like this was not a formal sketch. It was just me going in with like a pen on my phone and uh, whipping up like an outline of what the building could look like a shape. And then I ended up pretty much following that. Um, I built a lot of modern houses in Minecraft back in like elementary, middle school, so I kind of get the basic points of like how the shapes go together. So that wasn't super hard, but the actual like techniques to make it look very clean, and uh, still be interesting was difficult because you can build a very plain modern house and it won't be very interesting. But I was trying to build a very clean looking modern house that still had good techniques in it. And if you look closely in the Instagram posts, you will find some neat stuff.
Yeah,
But an example of a build that I did plan out quite a bit would be the skyscraper, where like I said, I designed the entire thing digitally first, down to the piece. So I ordered all the pieces for that from Bricklink, and then I just assembled it according to the studio file. Um, but for most builds, um, wait, was the question about inspiration or was it like my planning process?
like more your planning process, I would say. So yeah, you're touching on it good.
Okay. Um, Yeah, that I came up with well, I came up with the idea because I was wandering around downtown Chicago um, one day when I was happened to be in the city, and like in the Loop, I mean, um, and I was inspired by all this architecture, and I watched a couple YouTube videos, notably a couple by Stuart Hicks, like on Chicago style windows, and so I started planning a build, um, and started collecting like the planning process was like me going online and looking up Chicago architecture and assembling like a list of not really like a Pinterest board. I should probably it's basically the same thing as a Pinterest board, but I put it all in a Google Doc because I don't have Pinterest.
We can call
Um,
it a Pinterest board.
yeah, I'm gonna call it a Pinterest board. It was basically a Pinterest board of like Chicago skyscrapers, which is kind of a strange thing to make a Pinterest board of, but that's me. So I made a Pinterest board of Chicago skyscrapers that I liked, and then picked out like some elements that I liked about them and started noting down like common themes. Um, and then I started going into studio and just playing around. And the first thing I designed was the windows um, for like the main section of the skyscraper. And then from there, I designed the I don't remember which part I designed next. It was either the roof or the ground floor. Um, but yeah, the planning process is just kind of like it's there is planning, but a lot of it is just kind of figured out on the fly too. Because like I didn't know how all the ideas I had were going to fit together. I just kind of had some ideas, and I think making a list of things that you would want to include or like elements of the build, or like good pieces for it. Um, going through a collection and picking out useful pieces, going through inspiration and finding like for me architectural elements. For you, it might be like like you built some creatures recently, and for creature builds, I would imagine you pick out like body parts that you want to represent with specific pieces, right?
Actually, it's a lot of planning on the fly. I'm gonna just say this personally. Personally, the creatures thing has been a coincidence. I'm more of I like to do buildings, but
Yeah, I know. I know you're not usually a creatures guy, but that's kind of what you've been dabbling in recently, I saw.
yes, I have been dabbling in that, and I'm actually more surprised that I'm actually able to do it. I didn't think I'd be able to, but no, my process along that lines is it's a bunch of trial and error in studio, just seeing what shapes work. Because you're never gonna get the shape 100%, but as long as you get something that looks like close enough to it, it looks like it in Lego.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, yeah, and the same thing goes with buildings too, honestly. Like you're never if you're trying to build a replica of something, you're never going to build it exactly to the T, so you just kind of have to find some pieces that approximate it, right? Um, and for, my skyscraper, which was loosely based on Chicago architecture, but wasn't based on any particular skyscraper, I just picked out pieces that reminded me of elements from those skyscrapers, like the unprinted Minecraft wolf head. Um,
That was a
I
good
totally
one.
stole that from the police station, uh, but the piece did resemble the exact thing I was going for. So I was like, this isn't exactly like it's in any particular building, but it's the same style.
Yeah.
Um, and when Sick Bricks was over at my house after Brickworld last summer, we worked on a house for him, like a modular building, kind of a townhouse, and that
Ooh.
build had zero planning whatsoever. That was actually, I would say that was more his build than mine. I just kind of helped him out and gave him some ideas, um, like as we were building. But he was the one that actually had the vision for it. So I actually maybe shouldn't speak on the planning process of that because, from my perspective, that build had no plan whatsoever. But he definitely had a vision for it. That build is not finished and has not been released to the public yet. But
Yeah.
eventually, hopefully, it'll see the light of day.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I used to be a little more spontaneous, but I stopped because I'm a builder that whenever I'm planning or like doing something on the fly, pieces literally fly everywhere, and then I have to clean it up when I'm done, and I'm just like, I don't want to clean it up. And
Yeah, I
I
feel
want
that.
this room to stay clean. So I've just been doing more studio work because I'm like, this is great. I mean, it's a little slower, but there's no mess whatsoever. And if there is a mess in the program, I can literally just select it all and then delete it
Mm.
in one push
Yeah,
of a
highlight and
button.
delete. Yeah, Studio has so many nice features that you can't get by building with real bricks. But there is, I think, at my core, I'm a guy that wants to build with physical bricks.
Oh,
But
same here.
I really don't mind building in Studio as much as I thought I did. The more I use it, the more I'm like, oh, this is okay. Although I do miss building with real pieces. Um, I haven't even really gotten to do that this summer because I haven't designed any new mocks. I've just worked on the one in Studio, the skyscraper, and then built it. But I haven't really built anything just out of my parts collection in a long time.
Yeah,
Um,
same here to be honest. I've been busy organizing it because for the past two Brick Worlds, any pieces I've gotten from the set drafts, they have not been organized. And there is now no room for me to build unless I organize them.
that's so funny. Yeah, you just have a big queue of pieces that are lining up to be sorted, and you haven't gotten to it yet.
I wouldn't say it's even a queue. I would say it's literally a 16-gallon bucket worth.
It's a heap.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a heap. It needs to be sorted. That's all I
Is
know.
this? Sorry, do you know the difference between a heap and a queue?
Yes, I do know the difference between a
Okay.
heap and a queue.
So you're saying this is more of a first in, first out kind, or sorry, first in, wait, a last in, first out kind of situation here.
Yes.
Okay, I see, I see. So it really is a heap.
Yeah, it more is like a heap, I would say.
I can't help but notice you have not made hardly any progress on the general store.
Oh, I've made a lot of progress. You see, this base is very time consuming. No,
Okay,
okay.
okay.
It only looks like that because bag one, there was 5 bags for bag one for this set. So it doesn't look like a lot of progress, but this, if you were doing a modular building, This would literally be like 2-3 bags of work right here.
Okay, okay. I believe you. I'll take your word for it.
So yes,
And it's not like I'm one to talk about making progress on stream either.
fair. I feel like it's easier to make progress off stream, but you got to do it for the content. You know what I mean?
Um,
Uh-oh.
but I answered the question. Okay.
We
Yeah,
forgot
I
a
do have to
piece.
go now, unfortunately.
Okay.
But I did want to finish answering that question. So,
All right.
yeah, I think I've said everything that I have to say about that.
Okay. Well, hope you have a good rest of your night, Peter, and I'll talk to you later, man. Thanks for
You as
joining the
well.
stream.
Have a good night to all the Ches Poofers.
Yes, that's what we're gonna be called now, the Ches Poofers.
Ches Poofers. Do you have a name for them?
You could just call them the cheese balls, the cheese doodles.
Cheese ball. That's better than what I said. Yeah, you're right.
I could call them the dust at the bottom of the cheese ball container.
The dust.
Yeah,
That's
the
funny.
dust at the bottom of the cheese.
You could be. See, they could be they could be the cheese balls, and you could be the jar. What do you think of this?
True. I could unite all of the cheese puffs.
You're the container that they all fit into.
Yes, I
You're the
am.
place where they all unite. All the cheese balls. Anyway, sorry. I'm just
It's all good.
going so off the rails. All right, I gotta leave, but it's been good. Thanks
Been
for
good
having
talking
me
to you.
on.
Oh, no problem, man. Thanks for joining. All right.
Enjoy your stream and hope the general store goes well.
I hope it does too. I hope we get to bag 2.
Good luck with that.
Thanks.
All right, I'll talk to you another time.
Talk to you another time. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, we do have someone else in the chat.
Hello.
Hello, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, if you guys don't know right now, I am in the Peter's Pieces Discord. So if y'all want to hop on VC, feel free to. I don't mind. But yeah, no, right now I made the mistake of forgetting where to add this black plate here, and I need to see where it goes. So we are going to backtrack a significant amount. Okay, so we got those. There's gonna be a bit of a backtrack, guys. Oh, okay, I see where now. I think. Okay, we have found where we left off. I do like how there's these color-coded bricks just to be like, hey, this is where you are positioning-wise. Don't mess up. Speaking of not messing up. There we go. But yeah, I know for like these studio sets, they have like a specific parts palette. Ooh, we have extra pieces. And yeah, I know the specific parts palette for this, at least, is, I know it's pretty limited sometimes. But yeah, anyway, we're on to bag 2. So, I kind of threw all the bags on the floor earlier, so this is going to take a second. I'm pretty sure I gathered all of them up. Got him. I hope there's all of them. We're gonna find out. If we're missing a piece, we might need to go back down and find some. But yes, no, we made it to bag 2. Peter, if you're watching in the future, we made it to bag 2 here. So yeah, these are just like, these bags are also kind of color-coded too, to be honest. Yeah, ooh, we get a lot of these. It's actually pretty nice. Okay, so as far as big plates go, they're going to go over to the big plate zone, which is just off camera right here, where more table space is needed. Same with all of these big plates that are also a little off camera. Did I do that a little too far? Oh, I see. Never mind. Wait. Oh no, okay, that was right. Okay. Distance is not a friend to my vision at the moment. Okay. Sorry, we got a bit off topic there. Anyway, going back to talking points. Are Bricklink sets worth buying / investing in? Okay. This is something I actually have a bit of experience in because I do build the sets, but I do also buy some and then, I don't know, I'm a little more giving with my cash with these because I know they sell well. So if there's something I think I might want and then don't, and then I might not end up wanting it later, I get them, and then by the time I get the sets, if I don't want it, I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna sell it. So that's what I did with the Mountain Fortress and the Winter Chalet recently on my Bricklink shop. And as far as numbers go for selling, I think they're worth investing in mainly because you get at least a 25% increase on your investment once the set comes in. Like, even if you sell it right away. Because that's how much it's jumped up by that point. So I think they're a very good investment choice for someone who wants to, like, just start getting into Lego. Because, like, when I sold them, I legit, well, I mean, you make 25% back, like, after what you paid for it, pretty much guaranteed. With the Winter Chalet, it was worth like double. So I would manage to sell each at their lowest really quickly for like, I think I got $300 in profit, which is pretty nice. it's a nice little form of passive income that I've really come to enjoy. Okay, I see how that goes. And honestly, I really recommend it to anyone that's going into college at this point, or just is wanting to make a little money on the side, spending money wise. Plus, the great thing about it is the money you make, you can literally just keep reinvesting it into sets, and they're going pretty good. Now, obviously, you do have to kind of keep tabs on what sets are expected to do well publicly, and that's kind of reflected really quickly on release day, because usually on the release days of these Bricklink sets, they only last about, I would say, an hour or two before they're completely sold out. And you're able to pick up a couple extra copies too. So like you can get one copy and then maybe get like, I think 1 or 2 more. So you can have 1 copy for yourself and then 1 copy to sell, which is perfect in my mind. But since I was a little limited on cash, I sold the ones I had, mainly because like I wasn't interested in them personally. I didn't want to build them. I didn't have space. So I decided to sell them. But yeah, again, it's a really good investment opportunity in general, because you just make a lot of money back from it. And you also are able to like put that money toward your like passion projects, hobbies, have a little extra spending money, or you can just reinvest it right back, like I was saying. But yeah, it's a great way, and I think designing them, though, honestly, trying to make a good design for them would make more money, but you are limited to the build palette that they provide you with. My voice is getting a little hoarse, sorry about that. Anyway, next on the agenda, future of channel. Here we go. Okay, so I kind of touched on this before. I'm not going to go into that. What I'm thinking of moving into in the LEGO community content-wise. I am planning on... I think I've realized at this point, I'm not a fan of making videos. It's why I basically do any content other than videos. Just because I'm not a big fan of the editing process. It's not something I like sitting down and doing. So I think content-wise, I'd probably do the occasional stream. I'd post mocks that both I like and that I've designed. And continue more on doing the metal Lego stuff, but in all honesty, I don't think I will be making videos. I might change my mind on that. I can't say for certain, but I can say for certain that videos are not something I want to do at the moment. So I'm probably mainly going to be active on Instagram and post the occasional short that I post on Instagram here on YouTube, because I enjoy making those. Like, shorts, I feel like, are a really good form of content for me to make. I don't necessarily like watching shorts, but they're fun to make. They're nice, quick, little editing projects that make you feel like you've completed something. You can get something high quality put out in such a short amount of time, and then you can honestly just continue doing what you were going to do with your day. And there's there's not that much, like, you don't even need a script to do it, is what I'm trying to get at. A lot of the stuff I just come up with on the fly, and I just do a lot of outtakes. Because, again, I am not a fan of writing either. But, yeah, I mean, that's what I'm thinking of going into, at least content-wise, because I still want to be active in the LEGO community, even when I'm in college. But I do... We are missing a piece here. It might be in one of the bags. But yeah, that is, content-wise, not something I want to move into, is making videos. Mainly, I just want to go into every other avenue of, the LEGO community, except videos. But yeah, next talking point. I did kind of touch on this, but I don't think I went in depth about it. So hobbies and life aspects outside. Sorry about that. Outside of LEGO. So, I've touched on this before. I like doing metalwork outside of LEGO. I think it's very nice. I think it's easier for me to work with metal. It's not the case for everyone, but as I'm like working on a little project, it gives me the same calm that working on a Lego set does. But it doesn't have to, like, the building process doesn't have to last so long. That's why I've gone into more smaller stuff, because for metalwork, because I'm able to crank out, like, able to get a lot more smaller projects done. Same with like how Shorts is, where it's like you get that hit of dopamine as you're going along. So it's like as you're going along, you get that little like feeling of completion, hit of dopamine that you need to kind of keep going with it. And normally I like longer stuff, but like I'm not able to do longer stuff or feel as complete with the time I have at the moment. Like, I'm not saying I'm gonna die or anything. I'm just gonna go to college, so yeah, it works out. But I also am. I wouldn't say I'm really into video games. I do talk about it a lot. Like I do play them a lot in my free time. But honestly, last time I hopped on No Man's Sky was probably to get reference photos for the mock, which was I think a month or two ago. And that was, I think the last time I played a legit video. No, I have been replaying Star Wars 3 Clone Wars as a video game. Because there was a Steam sale where they were like 80% off on all LEGO games. So I bought a bunch and I started playing that, and then I was like, no, okay, focus, project time. And I got back to doing projects. But yeah, in general, I really like working with my hands and being up and moving. So really any hobby that encases that. Also, yeah, we are still missing a piece here. I don't know if that's on purpose, if I'm colorblind, or if LEGO forgot to pack that piece, or it's in another bag and I'm going crazy. It's in another bag and I'm going crazy. But yeah. Ooh, you get a little rat. But yeah, so I like doing stuff where I'm just doing a lot of stuff like with my hands where I'm up and moving. So lately I know I've been into frisbee golf, which is weird of all things, I know. But it's honestly really fun. And it's a pretty good thing to do if you have any downtime, because most courses are owned by like the park system. So you don't need to pay in order to play frisbee golf, except for like the frisbees. After you pay for the frisbees, like you can play as much as you want. Everyone's pretty chill, at least by me, about playing frisbee golf. Like there's this system of courtesy that is like, it's kind of like in the background where it's like a little hush hush, but like like commonly understood by everyone playing. That it's like, if it's someone else's turn, you wait for them. Sorry, I think I'm missing another bag. Dang it, I'm not. Okay, so yeah, I just really like Frisbee golf in general for that reason. Also, it's a great way to get, like, exercise and walking in. Because this is another thing. This is just me with ADHD brain needing to be constantly entertained. But if my mind is not active, like doing something that requires mental awareness, I cannot sit still. I cannot do anything. I literally just need to stay in place. Or I can't stay in place at all. I need to be doing something with my hands. I need to be thinking. And if not, I need to be doing something like, I don't know. Like if I'm building a set and and I'm like getting antsy and want to do something else that like requires my full attention, I'll just turn on like something in the background to listen to or watch. But yeah, it's like I always need to be like kind of keep everything entertained in a way. And don't get me wrong, it's fine, but I wish I didn't have to do that, and I just realized I'm looking for a piece I've already used. I forgot that I can scroll to the next step. But yeah, I always need to be doing something, I always need to be up. So yeah, I like doing Frisbee golf. That's pretty fun. Also, 3D design is another thing I like doing. I touched on metalwork, but yeah, so to get more into that, I like doing like, I'd say more fabrication, where I'm like making something from scratch. That is completely my own thing. I just get, it takes a while, don't get me wrong, but you get such a nice feeling of completion as you do it. And that is really, like, I feel like it's really helpful. Just because, I don't know. I'm one of those people where it's like, I don't really like trying to use screens as much. I don't really like sitting still. I need to be up, I need to be active. And it can't be on a screen. Because, I don't know, I just don't like it because it feels like if you're on a screen, it feels a little time wasty. Like you're just doing nothing. At least to me. I'm not trying to judge anyone that likes doing screen stuff. Because like, again, everyone's different, but that's just like a me thing. But yeah, honestly, it's very, it can be very like, I don't know. So yeah, there's that. I've mainly been like combining that with just my hobbies to the best of my ability in order to feel like, wow, I'm indulging in all of them. But yeah, another thing I like doing is, honestly, I like restoring old antiques. Mainly like old Lego pieces. So usually how I do that is like, I'm fine with talking about this because I'm not wanting to make a business out of this at all. So I'm gonna go in depth about it, but yeah, how I like repair Lego pieces, like let's say they're typically vintage or just from an era where they cracked a lot. I'm looking at Brittle Brown. But yeah, so it's if your minifigure, let's say, has a cracked torso down the side or somewhere else that doesn't have printing, how to repair them is, it's a little like you're removing material, but it's not that bad. Usually what I do is I put super glue down the crack on the side, and then I sand it down to the point where it's flush. And if you do that, you're able to like effectively repair your part, but also like it holds well enough to where like you don't really need to do it again unless you did it wrong, which can happen. Oopsies. So yeah, just don't do it wrong. But yeah, and then as far as motors go, again, I'm fine with talking about this because this doesn't relate to what I'm doing at all. Honestly, it's what I do is with the battery terminals that are in there, depending on, because usually I'm repairing the metal stuff in the motors. I'm not ever repairing cracked plastic in the motors. Usually it's like the terminals have corroded or eroded away or some other type of damage. And what I end up doing in those situations is I either make new terminals by buying like bar stock from a hardware store, like metal bar stock. I cut them with like a pair of clippers. You can like bend them with a pair of pliers into the shape you want. And then like even if you need to do a little cutting, that can be pretty easily done as well. I mean, it would be a bit difficult, don't get me wrong, but you can still cut a little hole out in the piece of bar stock. And after you do that, where does this piece go? Oh, okay, I see. Sorry, I'm realizing I forgot a piece. But yeah, back to what I was saying. I do that. I use this process called electroplating. It's usually, you buy brass, the terminals are not brass. They're usually, if they're older, they are nickel coated, which I'm just saying a disclaimer right now. I do not recommend anyone does nickel electroplating. That stuff is very, very cancerous. All electroplating is, but I mean that is like one of the more cancerous ones that you can do. And honestly, do not try it unless you do a ton of more research into it, because if you try doing it at home, a lot of videos make it look safe, but that stuff's like cancerous to the point where like you touch it without gloves, it gets absorbed into your skin because it's dissolved into water. So you do not want to touch that. But I knew a lot about it because, like I said, going into material science, I have to know a lot about it. I have to know a lot about a lot of different elements going into it and how they react with each other. And yeah, I was able to do it, and it actually went really well. So it was plated. I plated them with nickel. It looked really well, came out really good. But yeah, again, don't do this. Please, I really do not want to see a comment at the bottom of the video saying my son or someone else is in the hospital because they tried it. Do not do it. I'm not giving instructions on how. Just do not do it. But yeah, so I did that. It came out really well. And then after I assembled the motor again, and it worked perfectly. But yeah, there are plenty of alternatives if you really want that nickel look. Like, there are some metal alloys that do contain silver, or like a silvery looking metal, that you can just as easily plate onto an existing metal. So like, you do not want to do that because nickel's pretty bad, but if you were going to do any type of plating, probably be something you would do in like a high school chem class, which is like copper or something like that. Yeah, I would say like something like some type of tin, maybe some type of zinc would be safer if you are going to do it. But again, you need to take all the same precautions. I'm just, because yeah, I know nickel is pretty badly scrutinized. I personally think that, like, nickel's like borderline. It's like palladium. So if you guys didn't know what palladium is, I can give you the simple explanation. If you've ever seen Iron Man, or Iron Man like 1 or 2, I think it was 2, you find out the palladium is slowly poisoning him because it is a metal where it's like, you can touch it all you want and it's solid form. Like, you know, every now and again, and you'll be fine. Okay, the same thing with nickel. You'll be fine. But if you are in contact with it for a long period of time, let's say 10 years straight, it's dangerous because your body slowly starts saying, hey, this is a foreign object, we don't like this, it's leaching into us, and we need to attack it, and you develop this allergic reaction to it. Same with a lot of people that have a nickel allergy. They've either been like exposed to it previously, or it's just one of those metals that the body does not like. So it is a fairly non-hypoallergenic metal, and actually a lot of people do have like a nickel allergy that they do not realize until they touch nickel. And that, I don't even need to say, it's obviously very bad, because like if you were to touch nickel, you had a nickel allergy, that your skin would be very irritated. It's nothing like, I'm not too certain about this. I'm not a biologist, I'm a material scientist. I know it causes an allergic reaction, but I don't know the extent of it. It's different for everyone, probably. So take what I say with a grain of salt. But yeah, so if you're doing that, yeah, again, there are some metals that are like that, where it's like, yeah, palladium, nickel. I don't really know of any others that are like, I call those the borderline bad ones. They're borderline bad because, like, again, first contact, not bad. You keep touching it over and over and over again, or you keep in contact with it for a long period of time, and then, uh-oh, bad symptoms start to pop up. And next thing you know, you have given yourself an allergy to nickel, palladium, which, if you guys actually get in contact with palladium, one, it's a very rare metal, and two, don't use it as jewelry. I know it's a very rare metal, but don't use it as jewelry. And also, yeah, don't mess around with this stuff if you don't know what you're doing. You can get a allergy. Hold on a second. Back. Sorry about that. Oh, you're in stream now, S'more? Awesome. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm just seeing this. But yeah, so that's what could happen with palladium. Um, Honestly, metals are just really cool. Another thing I like about metals is the fact that they can become like fairly different materials depending on what they bond with. So something people might not, or something people know a lot about that's pretty common, is ceramics. That's how mugs are made, that's how different types of dishes are made, all made using ceramics. It's really good because it's really scratch resistant, but it's also very brittle. And if you didn't know, ceramics are metal oxides. A lot of times the ceramics you guys use in your houses are a specific one, aluminum oxide, and then if they're dyed, they use various other metal oxides. Now, the thing about aluminum oxide is it's one of the safest metal oxides. They literally use it to purify water. There is nothing unsafe about it. Like, unless you were to breathe it in. Don't do that. But it's relatively safe. Now, the other stuff, it's not too safe. And depending on the color, it can be even more unsafe. Like, green is another one of those colors where it's like, if that's in my dish, I don't know how good that is. But it's the only way that ceramics manufacturers can dye their can dye the utensils they make, or like the dishes, because when you make ceramic dishes, you need to fire them in a kiln at a high temp for an extended period of time. And as you're doing that, any dye you have in there would burn up. So they have to use metal oxides. So how do they get around that so it doesn't leach into your dishes? They use something called a glaze. And with the glaze, I think it's really cool because honestly, like, that's the thing that makes it the most scratch resistant. It's also the thing that makes it so that stuff doesn't leach into your food no matter how many times you put a dish in the dishwasher, or no matter how many times you scrub it, or how hard you scrub it, or what you scrub it with. That, I don't know. That is one of the more amazing things of engineering, because, like, I know that's been done for years in, like, the pottery making area. And just whoever came up with the idea for the glazes is probably saved a lot of people, because honestly, if that stuff was leaching into your food, I cannot imagine the amounts of cancer that people back then had to deal with. That would not have been fun. My voice, I think, is shot now. A little bit. I'm gonna need a second. Okay, I think I'm back now. But yeah, that was ceramics. They're pretty fun, they're pretty interesting. But yeah, that's one of the things I do. Another thing I like doing is, I don't know, I really just like anything that's creative. I am a very creative person by nature. I feel like that is one of the most rewarding things you can do, at least to me, is to just create something from nothing, like just using your brain alone. I think it's one of the most inspiring parts of being a human. Not saying that I know what it's like to not be a human, but it's just one of the most inspiring parts, because it's like, it kind of unifies us as a species. Because whether we know it or not, like, we've all created something. Like, even if we're not the most creative people, we've come up with something to get us out of a jam. We've come up with something to, I don't know, like, we come to these conclusions about life. We create life in general. I don't know, it's just the ability of, like, creativity is boundless and endless, and just always pushing yourself to your limits in that realm, to me, is one of the most, like, entertaining, inspiring things that you can do. So yeah, I don't know if too many of y'all are creative types. I mean, if you're watching a Lego stream, odds are you probably are. But I don't know, for some reason, if not, like, use this as motivation to just be creative. Like, don't be afraid, don't be scared. Don't look at what other people do and be like, wow, look at what they do. Like, and have that scare you off. Because, like, I used to be like that before I started doing mocks a little more. I used to be like, all these other people are so good at building. And it kind of scared me away from trying in the first place. Oops. Because it's like, you almost like don't want to try because it's like there are all these people that are better than you, and you don't want to be in that mindset. You want to be in the mindset that's like, I want to improve, I want to do better, you just need to be in that motivational mindset to, oh, I see what those pieces are now. Want to do something. Wait, what are those pieces? Sorry about this. Yeah, so like you want to be in that mindset where it's like you want to try to improve. It's like, don't focus on what others are doing. Try and focus on what you want to do. Like, I don't know, let's say you're like, wow, I really wish one of these people would try and build that. Now, you can go into the comment section and tell your favorite builder, hey, can you try building this? But when that moment comes to your head, like, don't use that as an excuse to give someone else an idea. I mean, try your best in order to bring that idea to fruition. Like, I'm not saying you should just keep it to yourself. Like, you know, obviously you should share it once it's done, and like, you don't have to keep it too under wraps. Like, you can always give progress updates, but it's like, you're creating something, bringing it to fruition, and it's like, just so, a lot of people just underestimate that they can do that, and get discouraged and scared, and like, don't. Feel free to document whatever thing you do that is creative. Feel free to just be creative, like, and the secret to it is just do it. You have an idea, bring it to life. If you don't know how yet, look up how. The internet exists for a reason. If you're like, okay, how do I do this? You can look up, okay, how can I do this? And you'll probably find something from, again, that person you like who designs mocks that will show you the building techniques they've used. I really like channels like that, to be honest. Like mock channels that show you the techniques behind their builds. Just because, like, I feel like those videos really help people who are just starting out to kind of like excel. Because a lot of the times is like, when you're starting building, if you've been exposed to sets for a while, I feel like you have a general leg up. Like, you know what's legal and what's not. And by legal, I mean what causes stress on the parts and what doesn't. But if you're just getting into it, honestly, the mock videos would probably be a better avenue than spending money. Just because it's like, you can get all these tips and then you can build the stuff you want. You can, like, basically rise up to, or I wouldn't say rise up to, you can, like, reach your potential. Reach the marks you set for yourself. And once you do that, it's honestly pretty easy from there. Like, it's honestly, the first mock you do is the hardest one. Because that's like the one where you're trying to find your limits, find what works and what doesn't, and push beyond it. Also, at the rate this is going, after bag 2, we're going to be done with the stream for tonight. But, yeah, it's like, I don't know, the first mock is always the hardest, just in general. But yeah, after you get, like, that first mock done and dusted, and, like, you try your hardest on it, you don't just try to finish it, you, from there, it just gets easier and easier with each mock you do. Because it's like, you kind of think in Lego. After that, you get in your element. And after you get into your element, honestly, it's just like a whole journey from there. At least in my mind. But yeah, like, just use this as an excuse to take out your bucket of pieces, take apart your, I don't know, a set you don't really want to display anymore. And as you're doing that, just think, what can I do with the pieces? What can I turn it into? What do I want to do with this? And just try and make something. Because, like, honestly, you would probably see where I'm coming from with the enjoyment and satisfaction I get from it. And it might inspire you to start doing the same too. Which is completely, like, awesome. I feel like everyone should try and be as creative as they can in life. Because the creative people in life are, like, what makes life more enjoyable for others. Dang it, my voice is going down and down in quality. Yeah, I do not talk for this long. I don't know if you guys could tell. Okay, I think this is another one where I use those bent pieces. But yeah, this was a question I asked when Peter was here, but for favorites, I'm moving the topic to favorite sets that I've noticed that have come out recently that I really want to pick up. Honestly, the Bumblebee set, mainly because I'm a huge fan of Transformers. Even when I was little, I know it's like 30 years past my decade, or like 20 years past my decade, but I grew up on the old 80s show. I would always watch reruns, and it was very, like, I just really liked it as a kid, Transformers. It was one of my, like, favorite forms of IP. And I got the Optimus Prime set, and I will say this, I think they do need to improve the arm hinges so they stay posed, because Optimus don't really stay posed, but that's besides the point. I just really like that they're doing that, and that they actually transform too. I don't care if they're bigger than they were when they originally came out. They're awesome. Like, the amount of work that goes into that, the amount of engineering, like, and work that is behind that is, I don't know, I really like it. Oh no, that reminds me, speaking of, this is gonna be more into sets that are retiring. A set of mine that I really want to pick up before it retires, probably not going to because it's expensive, AT-AT. Now, when it came out, I think I may have had an opportunity to buy it. But I didn't, because I was like, I don't know. The cost was a huge thing for me, but I'm now realizing that I should have bought it because, honestly, it is a marvel of engineering for Lego. To make something that big, that you could pose, you could stand, and that just has so much hidden play and function in there. I think it's a really good set, and this is just a reminder for myself to pick that up. But going back to the newer sets, the newer Speed Champion stuff has also piqued my interest. Mainly because I'm a big car guy. I think I've collected almost every Speed Champion set. It's to a point where, for cars in my Lego city, there's, like, no road room now. It is gridlocked downtown loop Chicago traffic levels of gridlock. And I don't know, I'm thinking of building a parking garage, but that's besides the point. Anyway, I really like the cars that came out, and even though I don't have the room, I do really want to get a couple of those. I think that would be nice. Another thing, the Fortnite Battle Bus. Yeah, I know. Probably didn't expect I'd say that. But, I think, I don't know. I just really like it mainly because they have all these custom molds for the minifigures now for it. And there's so much going into it. Speaking of minifigures, Dungeons and Dragons set. The Dungeons and not the Dungeons and Dragons set, but the minifigures. Those are top tier. I can't wait for those to come out. Another set. Let's see. This is gonna be tough. I don't know of any off the top of my head recently that have just came out that I'm interested in. I could take a peek at the LEGO website, but I really gotta focus on this because I have other stuff to do and I really want to get it done. Not saying that you guys aren't important, just that like I have other stuff. I gotta prepare for work stuff, or like the business I was talking about earlier. Which, by the way, I got a reminder for future Matt. Edit out company secrets that were given away. But yeah, so I'm gonna just be working on that tonight because I got a big day with that stuff coming up tomorrow, where I'm going to need to be busy with that all day. But yeah, as far as other newer sets, I don't know, I guess, okay, wait, there was one set for LEGO Ideas that didn't go to the final voting stage, and I'm kind of mad that they did that. For those of you who don't know, there was a No Man's Sky ship that was going to make it to the final voting round, but LEGO instantly said no. It got 10K votes, and LEGO was like, no. I don't even know why they did that. Because one, it is IP. But I don't know, I feel like it's from Hello Games. And I think Sean Murray would totally be fine with that. I think he'd even want to do it. Like, actually. Like, he would be more than willing to do that. And I don't know, I just feel like that was such a snub because 10,000 people just said, hey, we want that. That's like 10,000 buys right there. Yet they said no. I don't know. LEGO, you... That, not a smart decision. You should not pass on that. Okay, that, honestly, it would make such a good LEGO theme. I was really hoping for it. Like, as a No Man's Sky fan, I was really hoping to see it come to life in LEGO. Especially since they're doing Horizon. Come on. I mean, I know Horizon's a big game, but it's like just, you literally did like one set off that, and now you're making a game on it. When I think you should just make more sets on it. Like, LEGO needs to do more game content. It depends on the games, to be honest. Peter is not streaming at the moment. He just hopped on my stream for a second. Sorry, that was just a message I saw come up. But yeah, it's that needs to become a that needs to become a theme. But yeah, no, like more video game stuff I feel like should. I'm kind of hoping that since LEGO and Nintendo are kind of doing business together now. That they pick up the Pokemon license from Mega